One of the most frequent questions I am asked on LinkedIn and at various other locations is what is the salary range for cloud related roles of different levels in Australia, especially in the big cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, and Brisbane. Well, to be fair, it really depends on your experience level, skill set, and the company and the cloud market or the job market of that time. But generally, for the last 6 months, or I would say 4 months, this is the current salary range where a lot of the people are getting jobs, they're getting placed in. I have obtained this data from LinkedIn from different recruiters, plus I have talked with a lot of other contacts and connections in my network who are right now employed in different roles which are listed here in different cities of Australia, especially in Sydney and Melbourne, which are the sort of IT hubs in Australia. You can see that I have divided these five cloud related roles in three levels from mid to lead. For cloud architect, I haven't found any mid level roles, but the range is similar to what we have for cloud engineers and SREs. So as you can see, for cloud architect, we only have senior and lead roles. And this is what I have found that if you are a lead in a position of cloud architect, you are all set to earn around 200K. Plus, um, the cloud architect role is not just about drawing some architectural diagrams. It is quite a broad-based role in Australia. For example, not only you would have to talk with the stakeholders in the business, but you also would have to talk to the cloud team, architecture team, and a lot of other OT and IT teams to get a holistic view of the organization and how the things will work and be placed in the cloud. You might also have to talk with vendors and do a lot of other things at the enterprise architect level. So the next role is cloud engineer. This is the most common role which I have found out in Sydney and Melbourne, in other parts of Australia too. But I think for Sydney and Melbourne, cloud engineering role is the most common one. And the salary range really varies from company to company. But I have found out that most of the cloud engineers with bit of an experience and a good skill set in the compute, storage, serverless, scripting, cybersecurity, they can easily get the job around 160 to 170 mark, and the average is around 170K plus super and any bonus. And yes, I would like to mention that all of these salary ranges are without super. They don't include superannuation, which is the employer contributed thing in Australia. Then we have DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer is mainly about the releases and all that pipelining and CI/CD and that kind of stuff. And again, the salary range is very much similar to what we have for cloud engineers. There is still a big demand for DevOps engineer, but I'm sensing that cloud engineering is more in demand. Plus, a lot of the things which DevOps engineer does, it is cloud engineers are also expected to do bit of them. Um, because this is the thing with some of many of the Australian companies that they would want you to perform multiple roles under the umbrella of one role. So if you're a cloud engineer, don't expect that you won't be asked to do the DevOps side of things. Most certainly you will be, because the trend is to get more work done by the smaller teams. SREs, there are still jobs for SREs in Australia from the infrastructure side of things, but I haven't found the number of SRE jobs, uh, you know, as high as if you compare them to cloud engineer and DevOps engineer, but still they are there. And again, the salary range is very much similar to what we have for cloud engineers and DevOps engineer. And it seems to me that a lot of the things which people do under the umbrella of SRE in US and other part of the northern hemisphere, cloud engineer is also doing that. Then we have QA engineers, test analyst. For some weird reason, these jobs are dwindling a lot for the last 2 3 months. So, but still, the salary range is decent enough, as you can see from this chart. But what I'm sensing is that as the time is passing, the number of jobs for QA and test analysts are getting overlapped, and the numbers are decreasing because I believe most of this stuff is getting outsourced. And I also believe in the near future, these jobs will be automated or maybe given to the uh, AI bots. One more similarity what I found out was that for most of the senior roles, except the QA and testing, the salary range for the lead is around 190K. I haven't really found many leads earning like 250K or something like that. The lead range is around 200K plus super, and and it depends if a company gives bonus or not, and other perks and privileges. Whereas for senior level, the range is around 180 or 185, something like that, plus super. For the most variation and the most, I would say, the varied band is for the mid level or the junior to mid level, where it could range from 135, 130 to 160, and wherever they can catch you. Or it depends on your negotiation skills, your experience skills, but mostly I would say your negotiation skills as where you land for these mid-level roles. So I would highly suggest you to always negotiate, especially if you are at the mid-level, so that you would get as the salary as close to 160 as possible. So if a recruiter tells you that 140 is the limit, always challenge that, and then also try to negotiate. Sometimes that might be the ceiling, but then you always strive to get a fair salary. I hope this was useful. If you have any comments or feedback, please put them down below the video. Thank you.